What up, everybody, and welcome on into let's slow this down a little bit to the very first divisional round playoff game preview for your New York Football Giants on this show in this show's history. I am Steve. I got Timmy T right on over there. What's going on, my friend?
It's a strange feeling
It's
having
weird.
doing this show this deep into the season, but it's a welcome one. It's a welcome one indeed.
It's a big change and one that we've wanted for a while. But of course, everybody knows by now the Giants advanced. I said at the end of last week's episode that we'll have a show either way this week. It'll either be celebratory one or a season recap. And thankfully, it's a celebratory one, beating the Vikings. But we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit more in depth, and then we'll get into our thoughts on this Eagles game coming up on Saturday night. But first, as always, and Dave will be along shortly, I'm sure. Maybe we'll see, or you know, maybe he doesn't feel very trolly tonight. Doesn't want to come on. But let me pass it over to you, Timmy, for the good, the bad, and the ugly Sunday afternoon's playoff game against the Vikings. Wow.
Wow, no ugly again. I'm not going to call any ugly. There really wasn't.
It was an almost big time ugly. So
Those first two drives that we had
hey,
were
LaDonna.
like wow, that's what it feels like to have a team run down the field on you with no problem whatsoever. Those first two drives, I don't think I've ever been happier in like 3 years watching those first two drives. Wow, it's like look at the time they gave Dimes to throw the ball. He had time, he had patience, he had plenty of room to throw, he had plenty of room to run, which we should get into also because
Yeah.
this dude's setting records week by week. He was fantastic. I don't care what anyone says anymore. Look, I'm not predicting Daniel Jones go out there and have a Hall of Fame year, but as of right now, he is our quarterback. He's our quarterback.
My quarterback.
It's my quarterback. He deserves to get a renewed contract for 1 or 2 years, whatever they're going to give him. He played his ass off. No mistakes, which is huge. Uh, Saquon brought the thunder. I said the line was fantastic. Um, Isaiah Hodgins, where
Weird
did
to
this
see
guy
that
come
too.
from? Where did this guy come from, Hodgins? Where I mean, he's
Thank you,
phenomenal.
Buffalo, for
Yes, thank you,
everything.
Buffalo,
For everything.
thank you for Dayball. Thank you for cutting him, for cutting Hodgins. You've been a lifesaver, Buffalo. So thank you very much. Um, it was just an all around fantastic game. The defense wasn't again. Here comes when they scored on their first drive. It's like, oh, this is unusual. Wink Martindale's going zone, and I'm going, why? Why are you going away from what worked all year? This dude
Mhm.
just knows what the fuck he's doing because
He
it
does.
worked. It worked. I mean, they scored on the first drive, but after that, they had to work their ass off for any points they got. So hats off to the defense also. Kenny Dalday with one of the fucking greatest pancake blocks I've ever seen
Amazing.
by a wide receiver. Thank God I got to say his name, in a positive light. It was just an all around fantastic game. Um, I said there's not 1 ounce of ugly, not 1 ounce of bad. Just one hell of a game to play. And as confident as we were, there's always that back of that mind where the Groundhog Day is going to come popping up again. But
Yes.
we
No.
stuffed they stuffed that groundhog in that hole another week, so it was fantastic.
It's funny that you bring that up because as I was going to grab a drink before the show, I was thinking, we all picked the Giants to win. We were all, pretty confident in that. But I'm thinking, was I the only one that was like, "Oof, this could be it"?
No,
But
see, I was very confident with this one, and again, this is why the parallel to the other two Super Bowls, 2007, it's a little scary. It is a little scary. And again, I am not predicting we're going to beat the Eagles and then the whoever to go on to the Super Bowl. I'm not, but it is
I hate there's
scarily similar because in 2007 we had a quarterback who everyone said get rid of. He sucks. He's garbage. He's not going to be anything. And boom, that was his breakout year. We went down to Tampa. We beat a team we weren't supposed to beat. We just went to Minnesota, beat a team we weren't supposed to beat. Now we're playing a team in our division that beat us twice in a year. This year,
Yep.
Dallas beat us twice in
Dallas.
2007. We went into Dallas and we beat their asses. So the eerie. It's an eerie similarity. It's like, okay, but we'll keep our mouth shut and worry about that later. But
yeah, we no, but it's tough not to think ahead a little bit. And then Mad Dog this morning, Mad Dog picked the Giants to beat the Eagles this week, and his reason behind it was pretty simple. He says when the Giants get to the playoffs, they do damage. He meant 90 and 07 and 11.
and not just
And he
that,
said,
Steve. You know this too.
yeah,
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's not just
no, you're
that.
good.
It's extremely hard to beat someone 3 times in a row in a season,
Yep.
which is why I think we have the advantage here. Not to mention Hurts has been out. He has been hurt. They had the bye week. That's fine, but we don't know how good he's going to play. Good or not good or not going to. We don't know how he's going to be. Let's just put it that way. So I think
Right.
we do have the advantage as far as that goes. Their
Yeah,
advantage, of course, is their big mouth stadium. That's their advantage right now.
Which Molly on First Take, she's a huge Giants fan, and so on one of these days she turns to Stephen A. She was like, "Since you never got me nothing for Christmas, I need tickets to this game." And somebody said, and Swagoo might have said, "Yeah, it's got to be a suite too." She was like, "No, it doesn't have to be a suite." She was like, and somebody else was like, "You gonna go to Philadelphia and sit with your Giant stuff on in the middle of the crowd?"
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence told his mother not to go to the game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's how it's going to be.
Dexter Lawrence get a lot of love around around the league and around national media. Like somebody was talking about today that he could single-handedly knock Hurts out of the game himself if he truly still has some sort of injury, which he's no longer on the report. Doesn't mean that it's healed. There's likely some mind game shenanigans going on there a little bit too. Terzio, is that you picking for the game against the Eagles? God, if we can hold the Eagles 17 points, that would be that would be a victory. We'll get the W there. Don't try and jinx us, Terzio, either. I heard we'll talk about this tomorrow, but there's already there's a list of teams for Aaron Rodgers to go to. We get another goddamn offseason of this, Tim.
I'm ready for the quarterback carousel. I'm ready to play.
Lamar, it's gonna be.
I'm ready to play the carousel.
Let's just do what was it? I think it was Bill Simmons that he's like, I think Dimes is gonna get like a true 4-year, $120 million deal now, right? And if he's the guy, and a couple of the guys,
if they win this week and he performs the way he has been, give it to him.
Yeah,
give it to him, because you probably can't lock him down for that massive 7-year deal, because
no,
we can't do it. But you want to give him a 3-4 year deal right now? Do it. Do it.
Geek.
I'm ready.
Let's go, Big Blue. Let's go,
That's
Blue.
Right.
All right, so let's get into. I wanted to do the stats with Dave, but
I know who Terzio's. I know who your quarterback is next year, Terzio. I got it up here. I sat down. I did the quarterback.
Is this a reveal for tomorrow?
We can do it. We can do it now. We can do it tomorrow. We can do whatever you want. I can give you one right off the bat. I can pick the one right now. Tom Brady. I can pick where he's going next year.
Where are you going?
The Raiders. How can he not go to the Raiders? Josh McDaniel. Right? He reunites with him. You got your Devontae Adams. You got your Waller. You got your Renfro. You got your Josh Jacobs, and you got a good left tackle. That's a perfect fucking situation for him to walk into.
Yep.
Silver and black for Tom Brady next year.
But both of those guys are rumored
tax-free state.
Tax-free in Nevada. Both of those guys are rumored have the Raiders on there. The reunion between Rodgers and Devontae Adams, but then they also talked about Hackett going to the Jets, who is isn't this weird? This is all intertwined now, because remember the rumors was that Hackett went to the Raiders as the head coach, which was going to make Rodgers go to the Raiders. But then Devontae Adams wound up going. Rodgers stayed in Green Bay. Devontae Adams goes to the Raiders. Hackett, and then Hackett with the Broncos. He's obviously a disaster. So now the Jets grab. Is that official?
Not official yet.
Not official yet. So then does Rodgers go to the Jets and follow in Favre's footsteps?
If you want, I'll say it right now. I think Derek Carr quarterbacks the Jets next year. That's my opinion.
That's a good. Listen, they are legitimately. I feel a quarterback away with the defense. The Brees Hall come back next year.
I think there's a little something to the effect that, again, I'm not saying 100%.
Rodgers stays with the pack.
I kind of do too. I kind of see that too.
Yeah.
I kind of see. What was I going to say now? I'm forgetting what I was going to say. Oh no, Derek Carr. I kind of see that. The rumors were that Josh McDaniels was setting him up to fail, to go out and get his own quarterback. I mean, you can kind of see it. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying I believe, but
never be surprised by anything that goes on in this league.
If you look at the play calling and certain things that were made, you're like, Carr wasn't really given a chance to win with this team. So I think he still had enough in the tank to at least take the Jets to the playoffs. Absolutely.
If Dave was here, he'd be very upset because he wants Carr with the Giants.
No,
even though we have a quarterback who, in his first, remember last week we went over first ever playoff games for quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. Both of them, Daniel Jones and Saquon, phenomenal days. A couple touchdowns for both of them. Jones goes 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 78 rushing yards, which that's the first time in the history. Doesn't matter who they play, Dave. When you're saying about the Colts, first quarterback in the history of the NFL to do that. Saquon did it on the ground. He did it through the air, and then, like you said earlier, Isaiah Hodgins. But this guy has come out of nowhere, been unbelievable. 8 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. Saquon 5 for 56. And then Slayton, 4 for 88. But when you said that there was no ugly, there was almost a very, 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 very large ugly. I don't know about you, but everybody within a X amount radius heard me scream. I could not believe that he dropped that ball. And then I'm thinking in my mind, how is Dave going to spin this loss on Daniel Jones?
That ball wasn't perfect enough for Slayton to catch it. I know. I saw the little troll head coming up. And I was like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah. So I mean, not like you said, nothing bad that you can say. And then the leadership of Coach
Guys, I saw that. That was great.
Barkley. I mean, you could have taken, like, one of the biggest things with Dayball is remember earlier in the year, he screamed and hollered at the top of his lungs at Daniel Jones, like berated him on the sideline. And then he goes from that ultimately to, that's how you play football. That's how you quarterback. So he's gotten there. And I feel he knows exactly when, he can be that, asshole kind of guy, but he can also be the player's coach that knows when to go softer on some guys in certain situations.
Yeah,
because you could have just killed his any type of confidence if he went on the sideline and started screaming at him.
Well, you saw it. Slayton was bothered for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
he was bothered until the final victory, where Saquon had to go over to him and say, "Dude, it's over. We won. Don't worry about it. You move on now. Next week, you make a bigger play for us. That's all." Yeah. Which was great because Slayton didn't move after that guy. He sat on the bench with his head down. Even while we were winning, he sat there with his head down. And Saquon ran right over to him after that last play and said, "Dude, we won. Let it go. Don't worry about it. It's not it's not last year. It's this year." So yeah, it was great. It was great to see that. For Slayton too, Slayton made some phenomenal plays, and thank God, like I said, that it didn't come down to the game where you forgot all the great plays because of that one stupid play. But Hey, like I said, it's not last year. Thank goodness. We
Yeah.
stuffed that groundhog in that hole for now.
It's perfect because we get tired of that guy. We talked also last week on one of the keys for the Giants to win. One of the keys for the Vikings to win is Justin Jefferson getting over, what was it, 95 yards or something like that. When they went over 95 yards, they were like 11-0 or something crazy like that, 3-3 otherwise. And they held him to 47 yards on 7 catches, which you do that to Justin Jefferson, that's pretty damn good in and of
But of
itself.
course, Hawkinson was going. I knew Hawkinson was going to be a problem because the
Yeah,
Giants will
always.
forever and ever have a problem with covering a tight end. But again,
Galladay with the pancake.
oh yes, that was fantastic.
His Giants
Fantastic.
highlight. Give him a
Hey,
bonus for that.
I'll take it, man.
Give him one of his bonuses.
That's a $10 million. That's a $10 million pancake right there.
Oh man, I saw just as we were going on that the broadcast team. I don't know if anybody out there has a preference for the broadcast team, but it's not going to be the same guys as last week. It's not Burkhart and Olsen. It's going to be the other Joe Davis and Daryl Johnson, along with Pam Oliver, and I don't know who Christina Pink is, but she's there too. So
the Moose.
the Moose.
I'll say it right here in front of everyone. He is the only cowboy that I will ever show some respect to. The only one.
Is this where we talked about you get the one?
Get the one, and
Okay.
he's my one. He's my one guy that I will never talk bad about. I just like the way he played, man. He was a monster. He was a beast.
Yeah.
So he was pretty awesome. So he's it. He's the only one. Everyone else can whatever. I'm not going to get into it.
I was scouring the internet looking for certain things, Giants keys to victory and stuff, but I wanted to get the Eagles point of view. So this is an article. Jeff King, how many extra points does he miss this weekend? Oh, who? Mar. My God, did you see Peyton Manning's reaction to that?
All the reactions were fucking priceless. How he's on the team, I have no idea. I'm gonna be
like Peyton Manning. We used to joke about like in fantasy. We used to say, "Can we cut this guy at halftime?" Peyton Manning said that about an actual NFL player. He was like, "Has there ever been a kicker cut at the half?"
Bring somebody off the street. Dude, you could probably
like, why are we kicking? Why are we kicking? It was Peyton Manning and Eli. They were hilarious on Monday night. But he screwed the over on that game. It was the over was 45.5. They scored 45 and he missed 4 extra points.
I bet Vegas and every book in the country was sitting there laughing their asses off with their fucking Mar jerseys they all got now with their winnings.
Oh man. Dak was pissed. I mean, that's your job. Like, and wasn't even like he got the Knobloch yips.
Yeah,
he got the yips. There's no coming back from that during a game, for the most part. Once you get the yips, Ricky Ankiel, remember him? The pitcher, he's throw it 3 feet above somebody's head.
And the catcher can't throw back to the pitcher. Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah,
what kind of yip is that?
Mackie Sasser.
It's ridiculous.
That's
Jared. We'll talk about that, Jared, because that's an Eagle thing.
Deal with the object. Oh yeah.
Someone's cheating.
A bunch of cheaters.
We should get Eric Zan on here right now to defend his Eagles.
He'll plead the fifth. He needs an attorney. All right. So these are 3 things that they said that the Eagles should be fearful of. Daniel Jones is dealing. Really wish Dave was here for this. It says if we're going to talk about all the great things Jalen Hurts has done this season, then we need to talk about Daniel Jones, what he's meant to the Giants. Wink Martindale is running with some horses. He's got all his guys back. Did you see what he said today? I don't think he's interested in going anywhere. He said, Giants are not a stepping stone for me. So I don't. Awesome. So looks like he might be in it for a little while longer. And they talk about guys coming back from injury, Thibodeau just being Thibodeau. And then the last one is the Giants secondary with Adoree Jackson returning the lineup. We already talked about this. 47 yards for Jefferson. McKinney coming back. So basically, what they're saying is that the Giants are at their healthiest point of the year, and Dimes is dealing.
What's scary
Saquon's
too,
just being Saquon.
What's scary, this too. He's not going to be that 100-yard rusher, but he's going to be that 80-yard rusher, 60-yard catcher, type thing. And he's also a huge distraction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's fantastic because he's opening up the fact that you're getting those Slayton cuts across the middle, the Hodgin cuts across, that, and the Bellingers too. They're all worried about Saquon, so he's not going to blow the stats up, but he's doing his goddamn job, and and he's not selfish either. How many running backs at this point will do to give me the ball? I want 100. I want to do this. No, he's like, dude, I don't give a shit who scores. I could care less who scores. Just score, and that's what we need right now.
Exactly. And that's what they've been preaching. Chemistry on the team is great. They all want to, they're all unselfish. And Galladay, who's been probably the most selfish of all the guys out there, he's got the pancake block now. So we're all trending in the right direction.
I would love to see the highlights. Johnny Speech Eagles, Galladay 3 touchdowns, 200 yards.
Imagine.
Because then it would be like, well worth the money we just gave you for 4 years. All is forgiven, Kenny. All is forgiven, my friend.
Absolutely. Jeremiah says Buffalo South looking good. Imagine that Super Bowl. Ugh.
No, I can't imagine that. Where am I going to live? Where am I going to go? See, we were talking too because well, are you going to go? Ed, I know you're watching too. And she was like, well, you're going to go to Ed's and watch the game Saturday night? I said, I don't know if I can. I'm superstitious. Yeah. I have to sit in my spot with my jersey and my this sweatshirt, my chain. I have to sit in my place. I can't. I'm afraid to go anywhere else right now to watch the game. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I have no idea.
Jeremiah says we have a kicker this time.
That's true. Listen, that was a hard kick. Stop blaming poor Scott Norwood. That was a hard kick. It was. I'm just saying it was.
I know.
You got a far kick in the Super Bowl with the game on the line. That's not an easy kick. I don't care who you are.
No. Definitely not easy at all. Man, I wish Dave was here because now earlier in the year
I'm buying a troll. When he's not here, I'm going to put the troll right here next to me.
He said earlier in the year, he asked me what Daniel Jones's playoff record was when we were talking about Baker Mayfield. So now Baker and Danny Dimes have the same number of playoff victories. Actually, Daniel Dimes is perfect in the playoffs. If you want to get technical, Dave. Get technical. All right, let's talk about the Eagles. Talk about the line. We'll talk about the cheating, and then we'll look at what Vegas is thinking as far as who's going to do what this Saturday night, baby. Saturday night divisional round playoff game for the Giants. The line right now is 7.5 in favor of the Eagles. You can understand why. They were dominant throughout the regular season. They have not played this Giants team yet, though, obviously. So that line is 7.5. I don't think it'll move unless an injury comes up. Do you think that's appropriate?
Yeah, based on me personally, I think. But that's just probably the Giants fan talking to me. I don't think they've played a meaningful game in a long time, so I think it's going to be a little harder.
For sure.
Yeah, Hurts has been hurt. They didn't look good down the stretch. They won, but they were, again, I don't want to say winning's winning. I'm not going to knock it, but it wasn't easy peasy those last couple of weeks. And then Hurts got hurt, and they were having their problems. And we almost came back against them with third stringers. So I'm not saying that means anything because they probably pulling their guys too. But I think seven's about perfect for just based on their record and how they beat us in the first 2 games.
Yeah, yeah, and going back to last week's picks for the Giants and the Vikings. Um, I don't know. We were all in the neighborhood, but I gave it to Dave because he had the closest to the number of points. So the Giants win 31-24. So that's 55 points. Dave had 28-26. That's the 54 points. I had 27-24. So that's 51. And you had 20. You had that nail biter, 24-23. Thankfully, it wasn't that close.
Yeah.
So for the 47. All right.
That's just how I'm trained to think with them.
No, I can't blame you. Who's gonna blame you?
I got another nail biter pick this week. So
Oh boy. I don't Eagles fans sell out, so it'll probably be a lot of Eagles fans. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody wants to go there and watch. Nobody wants to go there and get assaulted. Nobody wants to go there and wear your $200 jerseys and have people throw shit on them. It's just, it's not a good environment. Then the people will all go there and all fucking fight. You're gonna fight a whole city, and don't forget,
up in a Philadelphia jail in your Giants jersey,
and you're not going to win. The security guards and ushers, they're all going to pull for the Eagles. They're all the cops. They're all going to be. They're Philly cops. Not like you're going to be in the New York cop section where they're going to treat you right. No, they're not. They're going to abuse you just as bad as the rest of them. And we have proof, Jerry. You can tell the story too. They had the story of when they were getting abused by Jets fans, Bills fans. Jets fans were abusing, and the ushers were like, "Oh, I don't. You guys are the
they're not going to help.
We don't give a shit. It's not your problem. You're the away team. It's not our problem." And that's how it's going to be. And then then you get the animals in Philly. The cops probably beat you up too just for wearing the wrong jersey. So you know what? Stay at home, watch the game in peace. Relax. I wouldn't want that stress.
They've been doing. I don't know. It's not that low right now. But this week they've been doing. So they sent out this notice for military flyover testing and stuff. And you know what they say in the newsletter? It says the sites at which the testings will be occurring are top secret. If you learn about a site, don't let anybody know and stay away. Well, you know how I tell you I live right across the wall from the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're landing there. Where do you want me to go? But they're these giant. There's helicopters. And when they're doing it, it's nighttime. Of course now. So, but big. I was expecting a helicopter to fly over, but I saw this big plane, just right over the top of the house, and I was like, "Holy crap!" If I can get some video,
that's awesome
tonight. But the first time it shook all the windows.
You still didn't get me lizards falling out of the tree footage. I'm really upset.
I didn't, but I did see a bunch though, because this past week I didn't see personally, but I saw a bunch of videos because down here it got into the 30s and they do that in the 40s. So
not for nothing, to change subject real quick, but did you see that iPhone commercial about unsending a message? Now you can unsend, and the one was with the lizard. It's a lizard, and the guy thinks the lizard's dead, and he sends a text saying, "I messed up," and whatever the lizard's name is dead, and he sends it, and then the thing wakes up and flips over. I was like, "That's probably a Florida lizard."
That's a Florida lizard.
And then the guy unsends the message like, "Oh no, lizard's fine. He's all good." I'm like, "That's a fucking Florida lizard." They thought he was dead. And he wakes up.
That's funny. No, it's great. One of the videos that I saw, it was a guy who was collecting them. And he's just grabbing them, picking one up, getting all the tails together.
Doing well.
The wonders of living in Florida.
Getting them out of the way, I hope.
I hope so. Yeah, what they do is they a lot of people put them by the sidewalk, by where they know the sun's going to be, and they thaw out. And once their body temperature reaches, it could be like in an instant, and then they just get up and take off.
That's insane.
All right, let's lizards with lab coats. Right.
That's the next step, Ed. If you see a lizard with a lab coat, I'm out. I'm done. I'm all done.
I know it would technically be up there, but it'll start down here for Joe. So what did Jeremiah say? The scariest thing I ever seen fishing in the ocean at night, and a blimp came flying overhead towards Jersey. Wasn't all lit up, and the captain picked it up on radio first.
Because you're out in the
Yeah,
ocean. Here we go with out in the ocean. No thanks.
out the
I'm
ocean.
good.
That's your favorite, Timmy.
I'm good.
We get the
Terrifying.
blimp flyovers too. Here, my little son likes that when the Flyers are home. Flyers. What?
Flyers. Oh,
The
you're not in
Panthers.
Philly.
God, I was talking about flying in the air. It's Flyers, flying, whatever. All right, so let's get into some of the just a few of the over unders here. They're talking about passing touchdowns. Daniel Jones is 1.5. So is Hurts. But better odds on Hurts going over the 1.5. Passing yards, they got this is an area where I think what was he at 270 something was the over under last week. 221 is this week. Jalen Hurts 247.
That's all right.
I think both will make up for it on rushing yards.
After we shut down Justin Jefferson, we can shut anybody down. I'm not scared of Smith anymore. I'm not scared of. I'm scared of any tight ends because we just don't cover tight ends. But
And Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, I'm not scared of any other wide receiver after we shut down. And Jefferson had what 6 receptions in the first quarter, and then that was it.
Yeah, he had one after.
They pretty much shut him. It's like that's
second
insane
half
to
or
do
something.
that. That's insane to do that to that guy.
It just doesn't happen. It's a rare occurrence.
He did his little gritty dance, and sorry, no touchdown.
That's
take
it
back. It's
and
like okay.
Thibodeau did the gritty on the logo. So
you can tell Thibodeau's the rookie. Yes. You can tell he's a little childish rookie.
Couple times now. He'll be fine, I think.
He'll be all right. You got to get that shit out of your system now.
For rushing yards, they got Jalen Hurts at 50. Saquon Barkley at all these are 0.5. Saquon at 70. Miles Sanders, which by the way, if you take that first game and you give Miles Sanders an average Miles Sanders day, they don't whoop up on us like they did. But you have 160 yards, 3 touchdowns or something crazy like that. So now you know that the Giants can shut down an elite running back wide receiver combo in Dalvin Cook and Jefferson, and say whatever you want about Kirk Cousins, but he had a solid game. Really, I mean, not solid game. He had a good game for the playoffs. I mean, I don't know what the hell he's thinking on that last one. You know, you need 8 yards. Let me throw for 3. That we used to call that dolphin football down here because that's what they always used to do.
Oh, then again, that also might be one of those. The Giants can't stop anybody on 3rd and 4th down, so they'll miss a tackle, and he'll get those extra 5 yards, but not this year. There's no groundhog this year. That's what I'm saying. Last year, that probably would have went for 30 yards last year. Had that one play,
probably.
Missed tackle, 30 yards later, the guys got a first down in the game-winning
drive. Oh, for sure. Missed that. Oh my God, that was like one of our most frustrating Groundhog Day. It was
3rd and 24, and they get 25. It's
like, to the tight end over the middle. But I said Saquon at 70, Miles Sanders at 66, and Daniel Jones at 47.
I'm curious to see how Jalen Hurts moves.
So Jalen Hurts missed 4 of the last 5 weeks, due to bye or injury. And in that game against the Giants, he was in trouble for certain times, probably guarding that shoulder, which I don't blame him. But I mean, the third stringers, I know, and you said it earlier that, they pulled their guys after a while too, but the third stringers held in with them against the MVP candidate, right? So That's a good sign. And then for first touchdown score, they believe that it's going to be an Eagle, because the top 5 in order: Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Miles Sanders, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. If you want to go take it a step further, and the
I'll
lack
say
of confidence,
Dallas Scott is first always.
he'd probably be first.
Fucking tight ends.
All right. So let's. Why don't you bring up the cheating
Yeah,
sons of bitches.
So supposedly, I don't even know how this works and how you can actually do this that quickly. I guess got to practice. I guess it takes practice to put little sticks underneath the ball, whatever, to hold it still, whatever the hell they. Actually, really, truth, I don't even understand the whole thing, but that's what they're doing, right? Little devices or little sticks or
Yeah,
something,
the little white things that the what's his name picked up.
and it holds the ball down. Is that what it's actually doing?
Does it hold it steadier?
I don't know. To me, that would seem like it would hinder the ball more than. I think unless you're unless we don't see them doing this, and they're like the masters at manipulation, like fucking sleight of hand, fucking David Blaine shit, because that's you don't have a lot of time to kick a field goal or set up an extra point.
Putting the ball on a foreign object. Quickly scoops reports examples of Eagles, Lions, and Commanders employing the use of small white foreign object this season. In 2020, the Chiefs doing the same thing.
Foreign object. That's always wrestling to me. Foreign object. Back in the day.
Everything was a foreign object.
Macho Man used a foreign object to win the IC title, baby.
It says it's not fully clear what the object is. Regardless, it is technically a rules violation subject to an unsportsmanlike conduct call. Hey, sportsmanlike conduct. The rule states no article of any type may be placed on the field or used in any manner to assist a player in execution of field goal and or extra point try attempt. Small detail, but it's fair to wonder how many teams have tried such strategy. It seems likely to be flagged going forward if spotted.
Well, now they're going to be watched like a hawk, the Eagles. They're going to be watched.
Good. Try it, Eagles.
Yeah, try it. Or maybe it is like wrestling. Maybe if you get caught, you just go like this. And I said, ref go, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Like in wrestling, you go like this, they just let it go.
Turn off the lights. Don't see nothing.
So we'll see about that. But good luck trying that this week. Yeah, good luck trying that this week because now they're going to be watched like hawks. So you ain't pulling that shit this week. Now, if they miss a bunch of field goals and extra points this week, you'd be like, you were cheating, you sons of bitches.
Bastards. Can we go back to see if the Vikings use that on that 61-yard field goal? Actually, the Eagles years ago with the 61-yard field goal probably did all the way back to that. It is a massive scandal.
Now, would that work in turf? Could that work in turf? I guess it could.
I have no idea.
I'm dying to see it, like see how it's done. Because again, they probably whipping shit out of their pants, like I said, like wrestling and shoving it in the ground real quick, and then placing.
They're going to check their hands. What are they going to do, like the pitchers in baseball?
After every field, they're going to check their hands and their pants and everything.
Yeah. They're going to be watching from the sky, like they're watching. They're probably going to be more focused on that than watching for concussions.
Yeah, probably.
Like cheating scandal.
They'll fly one of those fucking drones down right next to the guy hiking the ball, and just watch him.
By the way, that was a scary moment in that Bucks game with who was it?
Gage.
Yeah, Russell Gage. But then I was like, nobody's talking about it. I haven't heard anything about it. And then today he's going to be discharged.
And it was a cheap shot.
Yeah, it was.
Talking about that, it was a real cheap shot. It was a forearm to the back of the guy's neck. Everyone's like, eh. Like,
no, really? The video that I sent you, the end of the video, Troy Aikman's like, a ghost. What did he say? Something stupid.
Everything he says is stupid.
It's like it basically like non-contact injury.
Yeah, non-contact injury.
What? I mean, what are you talking about? And then it just became, you saw the look on Tom Brady's face, and I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Here we go again. Yeah,
here we go. Nuts.
But it was
All
a
right.
legit forearm to the back
Yeah.
of the neck of the head of the guy who was already on the ground. But no
He
one
couldn't
says
get up. You
nothing
see
about
him
that.
struggling to get up. He
Yeah.
couldn't lift himself up. I was like, oh my God, he's paralyzed. But he's got a bad. I don't know what the neck injury is, but they said it's a pretty bad neck injury and a concussion.
And
That
he hurt
is.
his back the week before, so he probably shouldn't have been
Yeah.
playing again.
Yeah.
But in playoffs, gotta get out there.
Injection, go.
Yeah.
Injection and go. All right. Here we go. Moment of truth here, Timmy. I'm scared of this game.
I am too, but
Scared.
if this was a non-division game, I would just be sitting back, easy breezy. Like I said, we're not supposed to be here. We weren't supposed to make it this far. It's just a cool and relaxed. Like, we don't make it. That's cool. We had a good year. We're going forward. But when you're playing a division rival who you hate so much, you're like, oh man, now the pressure's there.
And those are the ones that you got friends that root for those teams, and that after the game or when you showing signs that the game's going to be over, you're going to start your texts are going to start blowing up. Well, Brian Hom, yeah, you suck. So
I mean,
right.
as cool as it would be,
Really, Dave?
the biggest nightmare. Well, it would be cool. The biggest nightmare is you beat the Eagles, then you have to play the Cowboys. Imagine beating the Eagles and the Cowboys to get to the Super Bowl. I don't even think I'd care about the Super Bowl. I'd be like, dude, we beat the Eagles and the Cowboys. I was like, this is one of the greatest feelings ever. The Super Bowl would just be a nice fat bonus.
Dave, you good?
Bring him in. Last 3 minutes of the show. Damn it, Dave.
I had to show face. I fell asleep.
Well, thankfully you're not playing quarterback for our Giants. Falling asleep.
No, I'm gonna take a swig iced tea. You talk. I ordered the substitute Dave today. There's gonna be a blue troll sitting right here when you're not on.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you got closest on the pick. You got closest on the pick last week based on the points, 28-26. You got closest on the total number of points.
Man, what a freaking game that was! Oh, good.
All right, so give us your insight on the game, and then we'll pick the Eagles game.
So, watching the entire game, like it didn't feel like. I mean, it did, but it didn't feel like one of these like close games we had earlier in the season where I felt like we were gonna lose. I kind of felt like we were in control most of it, and it was just how we were gonna come off that second half. So I was watching, I was like, okay, like excited, like they were making good plays. Kirk Cousins looked like Kirk Cousins, like your boy, your cousin Farachi. That's what he looked like. And I was happy about that. And, he did his regular thing in the end. And
Cousins had a good game.
He did his thing at the end where he blew it like normal. And I have to give my props to Daniel Jones.
Wow.
He looked really, really good and confident. I have not seen this Daniel Jones that often, but he looked good. I have no complaints about him. He definitely shocked me. I won't say, I'm happy to have him for another year because that's what it looks like it's going to happen, but he came out and did his thing. First playoff game on the road. Phenomenal first start for him.
And yeah, we talked about earlier, Barkley and Jones both had great first playoff games because we were talking about that last week where we were talking about Eli and all these other guys from the past.
They're definitely
and then Hodgins.
Man, I told you, I'm telling you, Hodgins a couple weeks ago, just when I saw, I was like, man, this kid could be good. He can be a good like number 2. He's number 1 right now, but he's your good number 2. The only bad thing about the game, which the game could have been sealed a lot earlier, but Slayton, man, with that catch, he had it. He had no one ahead of him either. He was just gonna take off.
Well, I don't know if you heard it earlier when he dropped it. Like, I won't use all the profanity, but I was then I started thinking, I'm like, How is Dave going to spin this to Daniel Jones's fault?
No, that was in that man's hands. He had it. Like I said, he had the field ahead of him. That would have sealed the game for us. The defense wouldn't have had to come out, but
yeah.
Luckily the defense came out and been doing their thing.
You know what was great about that too, because even the announcer said, and when he said it, I'm thinking he's talking to Dave directly. Because you remember the announcer even said Daniel Jones threw it, to where he could catch it and keep running. He threw a little outside like you're supposed to. I'm like, that's right. He threw a little. You're supposed to throw it, Dave. Don't blame Daniel Jones for that one.
No, DJ did not have any fault in that one. It was in his hands. He had it.
It's all right.
Oh my God!
He still had 88 yards and some great catches, and
gotta kill him.
We won, so it's all's forgiven because we won.
That is right. That's the most important thing. All right, so let's do a little round robin here of predictions and scores. Timmy has already kind of revealed that he's got a nail biter here.
I'm always gonna have a nail biter. We keep winning, all nail biters.
All right, Timmy, go for it.
I think we build on what we did this week. I'm basing this on it that it's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a row in one season. This has a lot of crazy 2007 feeling to it. Not that it's the same thing, but
knock on wood, Tim. Knock on wood.
But it's close. It's close. We're going into an NFC East rival who beat us twice in the season, just like that year. I am going to say the Giants are going to upset the Philadelphia Eagles 27-24.
I'm not writing anymore. So I'm very. I don't want you to think of copying here. I'll go next because I don't want to play in a hands up game. I could not see myself picking the Eagles in this game simply for a couple of reasons. For what you said earlier, Timmy, for the how tough it is to Halloween Horror Night fan 22. Giants got this. I hope so. Please. It's tough to beat a team. When you're doing this divisional deal, you got to beat the team 3 times, and this is not the same Giants team that the Eagles faced that week where they got stomped. And it was what's the running back's name?
Sanders.
Miles Sanders. He went going off for 160 whatever yards, 3 touchdowns, and I think Wink Martindale, Wink the Winkmeister, the Winkster. I don't think that there's any offense that he can't effectively coach a defense against. So, all that being said, I have 28-24 Giants.
Wow.
Very close.
Dave. I'm on the spotlight here. I kind of feel I've given up on getting top 3 in our picks this year. So,
by the way, yeah. Timmy goes 5-1. And then me, you, and Ed, all 4-2.
Yeah, so I didn't gain anything on Ed.
Nothing.
I think I'm still what, like 4 games back or something like that. I don't feel I'm not gonna catch him. Not enough games. So that's it. It's time to do what I do always. Go with the heart. And I'm not picking the thinking Eagles. Not this time. I'm going Giants. I'm going for that tattoo. I've never wanted a tattoo more in my life. So might as well keep the train going. I'm still gonna give Daniel Jones shit because that's what I have to do. I feel like to get that extra fire under him.
So whatever will do it.
Exactly. So I'll go Giants, and I'll say I think it's gonna be a little bit higher scoring than you guys said. So I'm gonna say still a nail biter. I'm gonna say 29-32.
32-29. All right. Well, Either way, we're looking at heartburn and indigestion on Saturday night. Halloween Horror Night Fan 22 on YouTube says game plan is to keep the ball in the Giants' hands as long as possible and keep getting points on the board. Yeah, and between Daniel Jones and Barkley, that's what they have been doing. Daniel Jones ran for 7 first downs on his own against the Vikings, and again, the Vikings defense and the Eagles defense is slightly different. But I believe that the play calling has been on pretty spot on. They've been aggressive for the most part this year, as we've talked about. And I don't think that they're going to change anything up. I think Dayball trusts the hell out of Daniel Jones now. I think he has fully trusted him since the day after he screamed at him on the sidelines. Or he got, so I think he gained some more respect there, but he's trusted in this whole second half of the year, and Dimes has stepped up. So
I would just like to get Saquon a little bit more involved.
Yeah, more than 9 carries for sure. He got involved in the passing game with 17 carries for Daniel Jones. 17 rushes.
Yeah, you wouldn't know who the running back was.
Exactly. He was 17 for 78. But Barkley ran in for the 2 touchdowns, which is what matters, baby. Let's do it.
The score.
All right, so we're all going to be called homers for this, I'm sure. But we all picked the Giants.
Hope America doesn't pick the Giants.
No, I don't think we're homers for this. I think logically, like you said,
no, but
it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, and this isn't the same team. So I don't think this is being a homer. Because believe me, if I didn't think the Giants had a shot, I would fucking say they're going to lose. I have no problem saying they're going to lose, but I honestly think this is a completely different team. I think Martindale prepares better than the Eagles do. I just think he does. So I think they have a legitimate shot. I mean, if I didn't think they were going to win, I would say they weren't going to win. I don't think we should be homers on this. I think a lot of people are going to pick the Giants to win this game, actually, because Philly looked like shit down the. They said they were winning, but they weren't winning convincingly towards the end. So I don't know. I don't think we're homers. I think we're making smart choices.
Also, don't know how healthy Hurts is.
Yeah. So and that was the thing. They asked Hurts. I don't know if you guys saw that if he was afraid if the Giants were going to target his injury, which I mean not target, but I mean it's football, and he says it was a good first part of the response. There's I think he said there's always or it's a game of football, and then he says there's always a bounty on my head when I'm out there, or there's always a target on my back. There's a target on anybody who has the ball. Whoever has the ball is a target.
Kill the man with the ball. Remember that game? Kill the man with the ball.
Exactly right. Ed says NFL teams who swept both regular season games are 14-9 in the 3rd playoff game.
Wow, thanks, Debbie Downer.
Hey, 14-9 isn't that bad.
Yeah, but are those 14-9 if they're big discrepancies in the teams, or are they evenly matched? There's a point in that too. Yeah, don't be Debbie Downer. Don't do it. All right. So I think that'll wrap it up for us today. Quick round robin to close things out. And then tomorrow we'll be back right around the same time, 9:15, to go over the rest of the games and whatever else is going on in the world of sports. Timmy, what you got for the fans?
I want to see Ojulari make his grand coming out party this week, because if we get Williams came out last week, Dexter Lawrence has been showing up, Thibodeau's been showing up. If Azeez Ojulari shows up this week and we have those 4 guys wreaking havoc, Jalen Hurts is in a lot of goddamn trouble. So he's my spotlight player of the week. I want to see him do some damage this week, and go Big Blue.
Do it. Mobile Dave.
I feel like I gotta do it again. Do it one more time for good luck. Prove me wrong, Daniel Jones. Do it more than once. Prove it's not a fluke. You want me to get a tattoo? Do it. Do it. Get it done. That's all you gotta do. Get it done. Don't make any mistakes. Run your little twinkle toes to the end zone. That's it. Just get it done.
Hey, at least you see. A few weeks ago, you said run your little twinkle toes and trip. Now he said run into the end zone. See, baby
Yeah, let's see if
steps,
he makes
Dave.
it this time.
Just on the tattoo alone, Jesus, you got to help me out. You got to help me out.
And so, not that we're all
Boss,
suspicious.
you heard it, right?
Suspicious, huh?
Boss, you heard A to Z. So it's not only the tattoo now. Now it's a trip to deposit. Getting like
What?
a what? Yeah, now it's a whole.
Oh, yeah, it turned into, if Dave has to come all the way to New York to get this tattoo, we're going to take him on a road trip to Deposit, New York, where he can see the center of the universe, as I call it now, and take the 5-minute tour of Deposit. That it's only going to take 5 minutes anyway, but he can and drive around and meet the wonderful people of Deposit. So that's also added on to this bet.
Let's go, G-Man. Keep that stat at 14. Yes, sir. Wait, you're going to deposit?
Yeah, it all became
you
that.
Better
whole
be in
thing.
and out of there. I don't know.
I was also promised the Peter Pan donuts. So
yeah, we'll get some donuts. We'll get some Peter Pan donuts. Oh, you're going to be set up, Dave. We're going to make.
Just don't let them go out on the train.
No, I wouldn't do that. We'll Uber. No, but Dave has to go on the subway at least once.
Oh yeah, but not alone. They'll
calm down. If the
how many
team,
how many playoff wins? How many playoff wins does Baker Mayfield have?
Same as Daniel Jones.
And how many playoff losses does Baker Mayfield have?
Calm down. It's just one.
One more than Daniel Jones. Danny Dimes. What was I going to say before? Oh, superstitious. So Tim was talking about how he does a spot. He's got to sit in a spot. He's got to, have everything that he needs to have there. You just yelled at Daniel Jones again, and I wore the Eli jersey that I wore last week again this week in hopes of bringing the luck.
Did you wash that jersey?
It
has not been washed yet.
Well, because Ed has a nice new man cave he got built, and you're gonna go to Eddie's and watch the game. I can't. I want to, but I am fucking superstitious. I have to sit right here and wear this sweatshirt with my chain on and this hat. Oh yeah, this hat. And I gotta watch. I don't care how hot it is. You know how hot I was last week with all this shit on in my house. I was sweating my ass off. But I have to do it. I have to keep it going. If I were to go to Eddie's house, let's say, and they were losing at halftime, I'd fucking fly home.
That's what I want to know.
Oh,
so if let's say at halftime, I didn't know how far away you guys live from each other.
About 15 minutes.
All right, so let's say at halftime, the Giants you're there at your spot. The Giants are down 21-10 at the half. Do you head on over?
The Edge, you mean?
Yeah.
Or the other way around?
No. If you start off at home and they're down.
If I'm home, I'm home. I would just be like, fuck, I'm home.
Because you never know what the comeback might be.
Yeah, the comeback might be because I'm sitting in my spot.
Exactly.
Right. Just make an adjustment, like pick up your left leg a little bit more than the right leg.
See, he's got a little superstition in him too, because he said he would drive me home at the half. He'd be like, "Tim, get your shit and get the fuck out. You're going in your spot, bitch." I'm like, "You're right. Let's go."
That's awesome.
So we'll see what happens Saturday night, but yeah,
us non-superstitious sports fans.
I'm super superstitious about that shit. So
crazy.
I watched the two Super Bowls standing. I didn't sit the entire game because the way my apartment was set up, I had like an old railroad apartment, and my kitchen, my living room were and so I could see from the kitchen straight to the TV, and I stood in the kitchen for the people like, "You don't sit down?" Nope. I stood for the NFC title game. I was standing for the Super Bowl. I stood for the entire Super Bowl. Halftime, I sat down. I was like, "Oh, my fucking legs are killing me." So yeah. So we'll see.
All right. All right, so that'll do it for us this week. Catch us again tomorrow night on Sportsmanlike Conduct, which if these cheaters, they put that whatever that foreign object is underneath that ball, they're gonna get tagged with an unsportsmanlike 15-yard penalty. Get the hell out of here. All right, we'll talk to you. We'll keep you up to date on the in the group. Hopefully, all good news, all good things. Until next week, when we will certainly have a show. I'm going to repeat this for the sake of the same superstition. Maybe it's a wrap-up show. Maybe it is an NFC Championship preview show. Pinch me. We'll talk next week. Bye, everybody.